everyone. Welcome to episode 12 of the Migtown podcast, your only weekly source for all things Drexel going at these hoes. As always, I am producer Tim, and with me is a host of our show, Drexel.
What is up, everybody, wherever you are in the world?
From Okinawa to right here in US of A.
I know, man. It's very humbling to have people from so many different countries and everything tuning in. It's always been crazy to me. It's like, you always kind of live in your own reality, your own neck of the woods. So it's very refreshing to hear that there's people from, like, hey, I'm in New Zealand. Hey, I'm over here in England. I'm in, Japan, wherever. It's just like, wow, man. It's crazy. But it's very great to know that it's a unifying feeling that there's people all over the world who are experiencing the same thing, right? They live in the same reality as you do, and they see the same problems also, and perhaps the same solutions.
That is true. Do you know that our channel on YouTube now has 96,000 views of our videos?
Oh, good shit.
I hadn't checked in on the analytics in a while. So what are you bringing in for this week? Well, also a moment of silence in the chat for the passing of Rush Limbaugh today.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Rush Limbaugh died.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know Larry King recently died too, right? Like, there's been a lot of deaths.
No one cares about him.
There's been a lot. You know what? I actually got to give Larry King props. He did not leave. He took his wife out of the will.
Yeah, but how many times was he married?
He was married way too many. Yeah, he's an old simp, but I gotta give him props on the last one. He's like, yeah, he modified the will. Like, yeah, let me go ahead and take this broad off. Yeah, wow, I did not know Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, we lost a titan in the conservative movement.
I still view him as opposed opposition. No, like, here's the thing. I view Tucker and Rush in the same light, which is, okay, both of them make valid points, right? Like, no different than Candace Owens makes valid points, right? And then they all have like this blind spot where they'll say some things like if you guys want to see that's why I call them Tuck the Cuck. Just look up the video of Dr. Helen Smith saying why men don't get married, and Tucker Carlson is right there, and listen to the way Tucker Carlson speaks. And that's my beef with people like Tucker Carlson. No different than Jordan Peterson saying Migtown are pathetic weasels, and then trying to flip back and try to say, no, well, he gave like a half-assed apology. My beef remains the same. He started to get caught. Like, and it's like, yeah. Cooper's right. He immediately simps for women. Immediately. That's why I call him Tuck the Cuck. Like, just because someone claims to be conservative, like, man, I always tell you guys, liberal, conservative, it doesn't matter. They're flip sides of the same coin. Both sides push for male disposability. Once you can accept that, you don't give these people, no matter who it is, you don't really give them the time of day.
That's actually an excellent segue into our next mini-series where we're going to be thought and cuck patrolling on these fake woke people, right? The Tommy Laurens of the world.
Well, I wouldn't call her woke. I think she's a fake. Let's say she's a fake traditionalist. She's a chameleon. All of them. Who else?
Ben Shapiro's another one that we got to go after.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro. Look, man, they're all controlled opposition. Trust me. These people, look at what they say, how they live their lives. Yeah, they're just chameleons.
Chameleon crusades.
It's I gotta be the thought slayer, man. I gotta go slay them. Simps, thoughts.
Lauren Southern's another one. Someone in the comments of the last video was like, "What? You going after Jordan Peterson?" No.
Once you start to understand, like I said, like, listen carefully, because what ends up happening is, I think so often people just look at someone and they say, he says them talking points that I agree with. That must mean blank. And I said, you got to read between the lines, man. Like, really read between the lines, and you'll see, man, these people are fucking frauds. They're fraud. Lauren Southern, I can't believe people fell for that. And I remember, like, I kid you not.
I mean, I fell for her eyes, okay? That's what I fell for.
TFM called out Lauren Southern years ago. Trust me. Years, plural. He called her out. He's like, no, this broad's she's a chameleon. And people were mad at TFM. And sure enough, lo and behold, oh, yeah, she revealed herself. Ukrainian lens, Georgia free, They're all chameleons. Deanna Lorraine, right?
What about Candace Owens? Is she a German Shepherd?
She's not a full-on German Shepherd, but I wouldn't trust her. Yeah, I wouldn't trust Candace Owens. Like, so Candace Owens is the black conservative lapdog, no different than Roland Martin is the black liberal lapdog. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna push certain things, and when you listen carefully, you can see the flaws. You just go, no, carry on. Nope, I don't give Candace Owens a pass. None given.
And that's the thing too, is you go down the list and we're basically taking down all conservative media icons. Now here's the thing. We know that liberal media icons, we know that they're getting pegged every night.
Yeah, most of them.
That's not surprising anyone, right? The Jordan Valinskis of the world. I haven't forgotten about you, Jordan, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't discriminate, man. Like, I gotta be savage on people. Like I said, when I declared war on Nick's show, I think the first casualty was bitch ass Q for trying to flip, right? And being a hypocrite. So like I said, I don't care. I'm not gonna let people get away with fuck shit. You see what I'm saying? So if you do some fuck shit, I don't care if you're famous, not famous, it means nothing to me. Now, I know someone's going to say, you already know what they're going to say. Oh, well, you're holier than thou, and blah, blah. Okay, then come after me, right? I'm not stopping anybody from coming after me. Please come after me. I'm begging people to come after me.
So that begs the question, then, who is the Jesus Christ of the Red Pill movement, then? Who is the one of us who is without sin? Because you're not perfect, right?
None. Nobody. Because just like I've criticized people for having simp tails, there's guys that criticize me for whatever they want to criticize me about. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Like, the end of the day, it's like, what is it that you stand for? And when you do fuck up, the question is this: are you trying your best to rectify your mistakes? You see what I'm saying? Everyone fucks up. Everybody. Me, Jordan Peterson, Lauren Southern, Coach Greg Adams, everybody. Not what you're saying though. Coach Greg Adams learned from his experiences. Like, how did he become who he is? He became who he is because, of course, trial and error, right? He went through enough in life to learn from his mistakes, and there you go, right? And he'll admit you. He'll go, yo, look, this is so if anyone, and remember, there are Migtown monks who don't like the fact that Coach Greg Adams has casual relationships or one night stands with chicks, right? Like, oh, you should just be a monk. Says who? Right? Says who? No one says you have to be a monk. You have to be smart, no matter what. Whether you're a monk or whether you're a guy who cohabitates or chooses not to cohabitate. So you got to be smart no matter what. Like I said, Donovan Sharp. I like Donovan. The whole doing these courses on game and all that stuff. More power to him. I'm not going to knock him for that, but to me, you're basically inviting men to incur a hell of a lot of risk, right? If you're saying, hey, here's the game and how to get with women, and it's kind of like, I don't know about that one. In the modern climate, I think that's a very slippery slope, man. Very slippery slope. But yeah, like I said, I'm subscribed to his channel. I like his content. Like I said, it's like anything. You can be a Trump supporter and then still not like things about Trump, or be a Biden supporter and not like things about Biden. You got to take some of the good with the bad and be like, yeah, it is what it is. And overall, you kind of fall where you fall, right? So that's basically all that is on that.
Get us back on track here. You said you'd brought in
to get back on the topic of what's going on tonight, and dealing with this topic of love, is that when I start off saying that the love is dead, you can't start off saying the love is dead without first getting to issue number one, which is the breakdown of the nuclear family, right? And of course, when you break down the nuclear family, you break down your entire society. And I asked the question, if your parents really loved you, because if you really love somebody, you would tell them the truth. To basically just let them go out into a world, especially with young men now, and especially like young white men who the world really hates right now, to go get sent out there not knowing what's ahead of you, not knowing all the forces at work that are trying to tear you down. To do that To me, that's a sign that you don't really love your child, right? And we're not going to get into abortion. We're what are we at 70 plus million abortions, which is why, of course, the United States has to import people. But we go back to when the women in the government signed a pact together. So that's why every time that you are involved with a woman, you are also involved with daddy government, right? Which is why, of course, like that case in Canada where the man was never married to the woman. He dated her. They didn't have children together, but yeah, he's paying her. Why? Because she went to the government. When it comes to child support, custody, what is that about? It's about the government being involved in your life. So my question is, where's the love, right? And the reason why I got this whole idea for the show was I was listening to my very favorite rapper, which is Nas, God's son himself, and his album Life is Good, which was he made after his divorce. And the two albums that got me through the same 2 years of turmoil, the most tumultuous 2 years of my life, which was, of course, the birth of my child and leading up to the family court fight, which went on almost 2 years. So 2010 to 2012, his album with Damian Marley, Distant Relatives, that going into Life is Good and finally being freed from that. That album came out in the summer. The last song on the deluxe edition is called Where's the Love? And the chorus to that song is that, when Cocaine 80 says, love, I'll trade you love. I've traded fire with you long enough. Is that all you've brung? And hearing those words, man, when asking, where's the love? You do these things for people. And, there's that great song on Jay-Z and Kanye's Watch the Throne called I Love You So. Why I Love You So, right? And you do things for people. It's selfless acts. And in return, people do everything they can to shit on you, i.e., the marriage stream on Out of the Darkness, right?
Yeah.
You straight up shit on me, blindside them. Where's the love? People come at you talking about some, oh yeah, I'm on your side. We're all good. Everyone's all buddy. Everyone out there knows, man, you can have a bunch of guys hanging out together. Everything's cool. You could add certain elements, whether it be, like I said, usually it's going to be something that involves money and or power or women. And the same dudes who are just bros can suddenly flip on each other because, of course, that's just the nature of simping. So you wind up in these situations and you see the pacts that get formed. And they're evil pacts because they're not based on love. They're just based on opportunistic exploitation. And that's the pact that women in the government signed. And, when the laws are being put in place, I ask you women, where's the love? Where did any of you step forward saying, hey, hold on, this is wrong? No, you didn't. Halle Berry's out there complaining that she's boo-hoo, she's paying child support, this is extortion. But where's all the women that step forward saying, hold on, no judge should be awarding anybody, man or woman, $55,000 a month in child support. That's insane. Get out there and go get up on your ass and work and provide for your kid, right? But they don't say that, right? So the question, the love is dead. If there was real love, none of this would be happening, right? Because transactional love, quote unquote, love, that transaction, that's not real. Saying that you love somebody, but only on the condition that they provide shit for you. Like, you can ask any guy out there, man. Ask any dude. When he lost his job, when he lost his money, when he lost his status, right? His social status. How long did she stay with you, right? How long? She fucking left, right? Oh, well, he's not providing me what I want. They don't care. Because here's the thing. That is a parasite-host relationship. That's not love, okay? And that's why when I say the love is dead. And one of the big things that a lot of people haven't understood about love is, do you know how you can tell someone making a choice based on true love? When you choose your mate, and this I'll address to the women, for the ladies out there who are choosing their mates, and did you ask yourself this question? Have I talked with this man, and do we have respective goals? Do we have true compatibility, right? Do we have similar value systems, right? That's the first sign of whether or not you actually love your goddamn kids. Because if you just got with somebody because he's got swag, you got with somebody because he's got that bag, right? Girl, get that bag. Then what future are you choosing for your kids that you're supposed to love? That's why a lot of these kids wind up, women look at them as burdens. Like, damn, this fucking kid, I had all these plans and aspirations and I had to give it all up for your ass. And that is the mentality. That's why a lot of these women treat kids so bad. Why do you think women abuse kids more than men? Sexual abuse, domestic abuse. If they don't abort them, that's if they don't abort them first. Why do they send them to the big house, right? Go into gangs, go talk to gang leaders, gang soldiers, right? Where did you come from? Oh, that's right, a single mom. Because your mom didn't love you. You can sell drugs, and your mom does not care that you're out here slinging dope. We know what she cares about? That she's getting something out of it. That's not love. Dads don't do that. Now, are there bad dads? Yeah. We got cases like I Stand with Sophie. There was all kinds of evil. The last resort was a man, the father, fighting for his daughter. The courts failed. The mother failed. The grandmother failed. Or whatever, the shady boyfriend that was having sexual relations with her failed. Where's the love? Where's the love, man?
I think in that case, there was a little too much love going on.
That ain't love. That's just pedophilic lust. And we need to start understanding, man. And there's a lot of babies being born right now out of lust. You know what I'm saying? Lust, not love, fucking lust. And these are the same people. There's these women out there. They got dudes creeping over at 10 p.m. Kid is in the room, right? Shh, be quiet. My kid's in the other room. And they're saying that. Hearing the headboard sound like it was in a goddamn UFC match, right? Boom, 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 boom. And you know what happens 6 years later? Oh, damn, look at that. Teen pregnancy. Well, how did that happen? Well, I don't know. Maybe making, orgy sounds and all this other shit and all this, orgasmic pleasure. It's going to have an effect on a kid. That's not for children. That's not love. You don't love your kid. If you're inviting random dudes over, man, you do not love your goddamn kid. Stop. I'm tired of women saying that you're on dating apps instead of being with your kid. Nah, you don't love your kid. Stop. Okay? Looking to get ran through is not love. Okay? It's not self-love because you can't love your kid if you don't love yourself. All these people out here searching for things, and you're out here searching for this like mystical love. Like, I just want someone to love me for me. What does that mean? Okay? Inviting people over to smash is not love. That's lust. Late night lust, hidden under the cover because you're ashamed, right? You don't even know the guy's middle name, right? And don't think that it didn't occur to me that there are lots of kids out there, boys especially, who want to be in sports. But you know what? These moms, these single moms, you know what? They view the son as he shit on my dream. He wants to be an inventor.
So vindictive. Name a scenario where a man is that vindictive. Maybe jealous over an ex or something, but...
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. There are some scumbag dudes. Like, you hear stories about dudes who murder their kids too, right? And do horrible things to kids. But
most of the time I hear of men murdering their kids, it's a murder-suicide because they're getting fucked up by the family court.
That's correct. Yes. No. They're still evil. I'm not going to give these guys a pass because they ain't shit. But you look at some of these situations that people find themselves in, right? And in the Black community where being a thug or an athlete or a rapper is what is propped up, right? Even though over 50% of Black men never reproduce. And these Black women have babies by these guys that they know aren't going to stay around because they got 5 other baby mamas running through the inner city, right? And they have a kid who happens to be a nerd, right? You end up getting a nerd. He's not an athlete. He's not 6'8", and he's a nerd. He wants to be an inventor. But you know what? She's like, that's not cool. You're so lame. So she doesn't support it. When you look at guys like Steve Jobs, who was adopted, right? Steve Jobs was adopted. His adoptive father is the one that got him on the path, right? Tinkering with things. I read about Steve Jobs. I read about this man. He was adopted. His real father, his real mother. Come on, man. And to be fair, that's actually a form of love. If you weren't going to be able to provide the love and care and stability that kid needed, I would rather see people give these children up for adoption. Do not be out here having kids that you don't want, man. And then, they're a burden. And I got to go in on dudes too. There's dudes out here, these serial baby daddies, right? That ain't shit. Not willing to fight for their kids in family court. I know it's corrupt. I know it's horrible. I know it's demonic. but God damn it, you better be in there fighting. I don't care about how much paperwork you got. Fight it. I don't care about how much the lawyers cost. Fight it. I've been there. Fight it. All the Disney World, Disneyland daddies, right? These guys who go on social media, post with their kids. Oh, I'm such a good dad. Look at this. I got a big fluffy bear. They ain't doing shit with these goddamn kids. They ain't doing a goddamn thing. Okay? Material goods is not the same as spending quality time with your kids. Boys, prevent them from being thoughts. Girls, I would say boys, but you prevent the boys from being thugs. You prevent the girls from being thoughts and baby mamas. And we're in this situation now as we crawl into this this insane woke culture where everyone gets a trophy, everyone's special. We don't discipline anybody. Everyone just gets to say and do whatever they want and hate speech and wrong thinking. How is that helping anybody? If you loved people, if you loved your kids, if you loved your society, you would not want a bunch of entitled, bratty kids who run around beta as fuck, right? My feelings are hurt. I got to cancel people. Cancel culture is a sign that we've lost the love, man. The love is dead. The love is dead. Cancel culture is proof positive. The love is dead. Because guess what? I may have an issue with another man or another woman, right? But canceling them? Listen, you have every right to say whatever you want, just like I do. I don't want you to be canceled just because you have a different opinion or a different viewpoint. That's love. That's love. Because the love at that point is not for that other person per se, but the love comes for free speech. The love for what? For liberty. There's a love for liberty. It's like, yeah, look, man, I may not agree with this person, but let's talk. Where did we go wrong? Let's hash this out and see if we can find a solution that can be better. And if we can't, hey, we agree to disagree. We go our separate ways, but we do not go and try to harm each other or harm people's kids. And that's all we've got now. You know, the biblical saying, right? Spare the rod, spoil the child. It's very real. Okay. Letting kids run amok, letting these women out here run amok, a slut walk. Oh, so you love yourself, right? Don't objectify me. What happened? What is a slut walk? You only do a slut walk when you don't love yourself because the love is dead. You have a price, okay? You sold your soul and your body for a price, for a Coach bag, for a trip. All you hoes out here getting flown out to Dubai, you Instagram models, you're not even really a model. Just call yourself a prostitute, okay? Have some respect. Call yourself a fucking prostitute. Do not call yourself a model, okay? You're not a model, you're a prostitute because the love is dead. So now you got these rich Arabs over here shitting on you, pissing on you, doing whatever to you for a bag. Let that sink in. You are involved in all forms of sexual and spiritual depravity for the bag. And that means that the guys are just as guilty. If you're out here trying to fly women in to shit on them and piss on them, what does that say about you? You don't love your fellow human being, whether you're a man or a woman. Like, I don't know. You're really going to a different level when you got to start flying in these chicks that you saw on social media. But at the same time, when you objectify yourself because you don't love yourself, you don't have values, that's where you wind up with. The Bible talks about this. In those last days, when people's hearts are cold like stone, there's no love anymore, you're going to see a loveless, godless, faithless, familyless society. And that's how you install, of course, the one world government, right? You look at these things and you see the only love on this earth that is pure is sacrificial love. Tell me what you are willing to give up that means something to you. Okay? You start up, you look about, are you willing to sacrifice your freedom? Are you willing to sacrifice your comfort? Are you willing to sacrifice your happiness? Are you willing to sacrifice your dreams, aspirations, and most importantly, your life? Will you put your life on the line? That's true love, sacrifice. Don't tell me that you love somebody. And this is the reason why, Phil and I have said this numerous times. Dollhouse Phil, shout out to him. Thanks for coming on the show. Dollhouse Phil and I talk about when it comes to the term love, only men can truly love because only men can be sacrificial. They have done studies on this when, of course, they have a woman who sits down and they have a man who sits down. And the way you torture a woman is you threaten her. She will crack. She'll crack and torture. With a man, the way you destroy him, the way you break him and crack him is that you have him, you don't have to torture him. You give him the thought that someone he loves is being tortured, his woman, his children, and he'll crack. He'll crack. So one side is selfish, one side is selfless. And for all the women out there who say, that's not true, well, I'll tell you what. War breaks out and the conquering army comes in. What are you going to do? How are you going to show your love? You're going to get on your fucking back and get on your knees. So stop. Stop. It's going to go full on Mad Max. Stop pretending that you're going to strap up arms and you ain't going to do shit. If the men lost, you definitely will lose. Okay? So admit that you don't have that love. That's why if you ask a lot of guys who have been in relationships, they've been the subject of certain allegations and all that. And the way they get treated, you think to yourself, hold on. I know there's guys out there cheating and doing some scumbag shit. There's women cheating out there doing scumbag shit. But one thing I've always noticed, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. Men do feel genuine remorse when they cheat. And men will oftentimes tell you, it doesn't mean I don't love my wife. A guy can cheat and still love his wife. He can get physical needs met outside. That's why there were whorehouses and brothels in years past, right? United States and elsewhere. Because a man can say, look, that's my wife, that's the mother of my kids. Now, I'm not saying it's right. Make no mistake, I'm not giving guys a pass for cheating on their wives. I'm saying at least the dude, when he's cheating on his wife, he still is bringing home the bacon to her and the family. He still has her and the family in the will, right? In the family trust. When a woman cheats, she has no respect for you. There's no love for you. She's just acting on her own impulse or hypergamous instinct, right? And the love is so dead that when you start to realize, right? You start to realize that those intangibles, right? Those all important intangibles, the physical contact, holding hands, encouragement, right? And sometimes one of the greatest loves that you can ever show in this life is letting go of someone that you love who doesn't love themselves. And I always remember that old saying when they say, when you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours. And if it doesn't, it never was. And there are people out there, and for those of you out there, maybe this strikes a nerve. If you've dealt with someone who has drug addictions, things like that, gambling addictions, and they just rip your heart out and stomp into a million fucking pieces, put it back in your chest, sew it up, undo the stitches, carve it back out, and then start slashing your heart up. They lie to their family, lie on their family, they cheat, they steal, they do all kinds of things. I see these things happening because these people are broken and they don't have love. They don't have that self-love and they don't have that respect. Love and respect really are one and the same. Because how am I going to love you if I don't respect you? Right? That comes in time. And when I see these things out here, that's why I say, man, the love is dead. When you guys see all these TikTok challenges, the love is dead. When Selena Powell has her girlfriend on Adam 22 show and talks about how she sucked off 7 Suns players and she doesn't give a damn about her family, her Mormon family that raised her. There's no love. All the surgery. Go look around, guys. Look at all these surgeries
left in the world.
None. Zero. There's no value systems.
Nobody respects no one.
Tim, do you remember there was a time years ago, long time ago, where there was always that saying, your word is bond. You didn't need to go sign a bunch of 500 documents to prove that something is like, look, I shook this man's hand. That's that. Right?
We can't even do that anymore.
Can't do that anymore. Look, everything you do, hold up, I got to get the lawyers involved. And you see this also when you look at all the places where, like I said, government is a demonic force. And when you look at things like affirmative action, you look at things like Title IX, you look at things like Me Too, where's the love? So you have these witch hunts, you have these forces that are manipulating something and causing division, right? More Marxist agenda bullshit. The love is dead. The respect is dead.
Their ideal world is one run by lawyers and bureaucrats, and there are no other jobs. When you
Pretty
are
much.
born, you are either a lawyer or a bureaucrat.
Yeah, well, and your life can be ruined on a whim, but of course, we all know that it's going to be full of double standards. And when you have double standards, you have no standards at all. And that's because the love is dead, right? And when you have these things, when you see the world around you, I keep asking people, where's the love? I want you guys to seriously look around. Go look at academia. Where's the love? The family. Your family will be the first people trying to tear you down. Talking about, you ain't going to amount to nothing. You ain't going to be shit.
There's a lot of love making in college.
That ain't love. That's still lust. It's just, think about it. Like random, meaningless sex. There's no love. That's just random, meaningless sex, right? And when people's souls are broken, especially the women, and there's guys out there who are broken, who have to have sex with women to get validation, right? Like, oh, I don't feel like a man. Look at like the whole incel thing.
Yep.
This is not good. The family, where's the love? Show me. The love is dead. The family, most people don't even like being around their family. If you ask somebody, would you rather be with your family or be with your phone? Most people say, I'd rather be with my damn smartphone, right? Because the love is dead.
I'd rather be locked in a hotel room with a busted TV than have to spend 5 minutes around my family.
Yeah. The love is dead.
My mama's the only exception there. Could spend a good afternoon with my mama.
But at the end of the day, your mama was the one who had to make the choices of who's dad, right? What environment do you grow up in? These are the choices. Like, remember, women control evolution. They control the social structure.
Everyone's got a blind spot for their mama, though.
Like, everyone does. Yeah, everyone does.
And it's by evolution. It's by necessity. Everyone does. Your mama can't do no wrong.
Yeah,
you could say it, but who's gonna call up their mother and say, "Mom, I'm gonna call you out for all of the shitty decisions you made"?
Yep, most people can't do it. Now, they can call out dad for everything, right? Dad wasn't there, and
I could definitely call out stepdad if you want.
Yeah, dad, stepdads, and you see that very often where they talk about girls or especially with girls. Let's say girls have daddy issues, and there's beta male cucks out here that have mommy issues. But it's like we need to start talking about these parents having kid issues, right? Not investing as a parent into their children. And sometimes situations aren't always the best, but like at least if you made a valiant effort, and like Ty Beard said, just be there. The best advice Ty Beard gave when it came to fatherhood, like just be there, like just be in your kids' life. You may be thinking like, man, Ty, I don't think I'm a good father. I'm not the kind of guy that's I'm just not really cut out for it. Just you being there, Matt, the kid is going to remember. The kid will remember. Yep. And when you look at these entities that don't give a shit about you because the love is dead, the church doesn't give a shit about you. The church will sell you out in a heartbeat if you have a penis. The family will sell you out. Academia will sell you out.
Hell, the military church will snip the tip off your penis.
Yeah, right. But of course, with women, we had anti female genitalia day, whatever the hell it was.
And what was the very first thing you said?
What about the dudes?
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about that. We're not allowed to talk about male genital mutilation.
Yeah, male genital mutilation, right? Circumcisions. Look around you. But it's getting wild, man. The fact that the love is dead in the military. We have all these agendas with the rainbow, this trans, this, whatever, all the language being flipped. You look at the workforce. Oh, the military's done, man.
There's a certain love I have for blowing shit up.
But people need to start understanding what forces are at work. And like I said, love and respect are they're flip sides of that coin. They represent that double helix. Look around you, man. The workforce doesn't love you. Where's the love, right? The love is dead. The love is dead in the media. The respect, right? The love, the respect, gone. The government, they just want you to be a slave producing for them, right? That's not love. Telling somebody, seriously, I want you guys to really think about this for a second. Go out there and ask multiple women in your life, your sister, your mom, that woman at work, and ask her what the perfect guy is. Like what does he do? And she will literally describe a goddamn servant. A servant. And that's why you have a situation where you have so many dudes out here who are cucks. And being able to get around this, being able to evolve through this is why I have this whole show is a duality, right? I want to play on that duality where, yes, the love is dead, right? All these institutions don't care about you. They've all sold you out to pasture. Good. So fucking be it. So your family doesn't love you. So academia doesn't love you. So people want to Me Too you. Yeah, they want to, Title IX investigations if you go to a college or university based on where you're at, where they call it. Everywhere you turn, someone's trying to tear you down, right? You look at advertisements, right? TV commercials, shitting on anybody who has a penis. Oh, yeah, okay, so what? Ha, ha, ha. The guy's an idiot. Yeah, okay, yeah, we got it, right? Because the love is dead.
He showed me his opinion. Remember that fucking Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, yeah, that was fucking ridiculous. And I look at what happened in China. The article that came across my desk that the Chinese government, here's the CCP. The CCP actually believed that the new law that they posed with the whole 30-day waiting period was going to we thought the pandemic, there would be nothing but love and more kids being born because we need babies. Wrong. What did China get? Oh, shocker. People rushed to file divorces. Rushed to file. You guys have heard the pandemic. Coach Greg Adams did he looked into the study about this. The divorce filings rose 38% during the pandemic. 38%. Because all of a sudden people realize, I don't really love this person. The love is dead. I don't want to be around this fucking person.
There's a related and similar principle. I have some old childhood wisdom that says never live with your best friend.
Yeah. That was more true with women, though. I do believe, I heard that more so with women.
Do you know someone who, as a kid, I don't know, maybe their house burnt down or something, they had to move in with another family, and you had two kids, they were best friends, and they were suddenly living together, and it goes good for about a week. Then they're at each other's throats. Because how you act when you're in a casual setting versus how you act at home are two completely different people. And you realize you can't fucking stand each other.
Yeah. Well, usually you're meeting in a situation where you are meeting in a place of comfort and fun, right? And think about it. It's the same thing that happens in the dating world where when people meet, why there's so much love going on, what ends up happening? It's so fun because both of them have their own space and they're usually meeting to do something, right? Hey, we're going out for a movie. Hey, we're going out for dinner and drinks. Hey, we're going out to do this. Hey, we're going out to this show. We're going out to do this. There's always some kind of activity, so it's fun. And then, of course, there's romantic intimacy, right? That is all fun. But if you notice, when you wind up living with somebody, all of a sudden, all their little quirks and nuances and little things about them, maybe they leave the toilet seat up, maybe they shave and leave the hair in there, maybe you're a neat freak, this person's a junkie person. All of a sudden, all these things come to the forefront.
Yep.
And it's like, damn, the love is dead. Man, I want this person the fuck out of my house and out of my life. It happens that fast.
And what do you say to people who say that their girlfriends or their fiance or their wife is their best friend?
It can happen. I got to be fair. It can happen. It's very rare, though. Very rare.
Look, the only time I've seen a guy call a girl his best friend is if she was a complete fucking tomboy.
In general, yes.
She shows up in fucking suspenders and rolled up legs, right? Running through the mud.
In general, that is how it works. That's a general rule of thumb. But here's the thing: you don't need to be best friends, but you do need to be friends, because if the relationship does not work out and you are you're married to your friend and something somehow for whatever reason it doesn't work, the great thing about it is that because there is love there, right? Because there's love and respect, you're like, hey man, I just want to, we're going to make this as good as possible for us and the kids if there's kids involved. You don't want to hurt them. When there's no love, when the love is dead, usually you have one party, at least one party, that's trying to be vindictive. And they're trying to tear the other person down rather than just saying, I love and respect you enough that I want you to get on with your life. Things didn't work out. I know, there's hurt feelings on both sides, but it's time for us to move on, right? And you shouldn't want to tear down another person. But that's where we're at now. Like, the love is dead. But I always encourage you guys, embrace that. Embrace that no one loves you for you, right? If you have a penis between your fucking legs, just know that you will never be loved except for they care about what do you provide. What do you provide for women, for society, for the workplace, for whatever? That's just the way it is. Accept it, embrace it. And that's why the double helix to this tonight is long live the love. And I'll tell you right now, in the manosphere, although there's some bitch made simps out there that are hating, there's tons of love because guys they're looking for answers, right? They're searching, they're talking to men who they want understanding about the world around them, about their past, their present, and their future. And hearing about you can listen to any red pill channel, and these guys will tell you, yo man, someone got talked off the edge by listening to the content. I've already gotten that message, I think, twice. I had people reach out to me and say that it was someone that they got talked off the ledge. They're about to kill themselves, right? They're going to go ahead and do the Minecraft thing, right? And I'm looking like, Jesus, like, is it really that serious? It is. Yep. But long live the love for your fellow man and woman. Even when Nick and I were doing like the call-ins and we've gotten emails, we always try to give people the best possible advice. When a girl says, hey, what should I do in this situation? It's like, do this because this will make you happiest in the long run. Don't listen to someone trying to tell you, like, shout out to Anna who came on the show with Nick and I and talked about how her friends basically wanted her to live out a whole phase because they were trying to tear her because they don't love her. They don't respect her. And here's Nick and I saying, don't do that. Don't go down that path. Right? Because there's no coming back from that. And when I look at the manosphere and just the way that guys are communicating, finally opened up for years, men didn't really open up and talk about anything that was wrong. That was, guys had things, all of the spaces that were once male spaces, country clubs, cigar shops, there were even arcades, right? Arcades back then was predominantly a male space. Their cons even, all those got invaded because of simps who helped ruin everything and allow the women to ruin everything with the help of the state and policing. But long live the love. When you push toward your dreams, when you encourage your fellow man, hey man, I'm gonna pull you off the edge, but I'm also gonna encourage you. I'm still gonna spite you, hey man, what the fuck are you doing? Right? You have more to live for. But I'm also going to embrace you and say, look, man, I want you to go toward your dreams. I want you to find love in being clear-headed and having a brotherhood to protect you, having a brotherhood that can listen to you, to have a soundboard off of.
Well, also, nothing changes if nothing changes. So he's going to end up right back on that ledge if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's why we don't enable, right? Like, we don't sit there and just say like, oh, it's okay. The world is what's wrong. But no. We give that tough love. That's why they say tough love, right? They don't say tough love. Well, that's why you
scold someone when
you scold them.
Yeah.
When listen, when I was a kid, I did bitch made shit. I had to get corrected, right? That's how you become a man. You're doing stuff that's not okay. Someone had to correct you because they loved you.
What's the difference between love and worship? Because simps will say, well, I love the pussy. These women are strong and independent, and I love that they are strong and independent. But they're obviously, broken in the mind.
Those guys are just looking for validation and a pat on the head.
But love does not equal worship, right?
Absolutely not.
Because they're worshiping pussy, and that's what makes them a simp.
It can, but here's the thing that people got to remember, though. Do you guys ever notice that the guy who worships the golden V, when he doesn't get it or something goes wrong, what do those guys tend to do, Tim? The male feminists. What do they tend to do when they don't get their way?
Go out and rape.
Yep.
They're the ones doing the Me Too, right?
They're the ones beating women down. Harvey Weinstein was a huge male feminist. The guys who wind up getting busted doing all kinds of things and talk about how much they love this, they love that. Those are the ones who are out here beating women, raping women, who are actual scumbags. Go into the prison system. Go show me all the pedos. Oh, I love kids. Right? Jared from Subway. Right? Oh, that's the pedo. And what do? They always deflect and try to say that it's the big guy, the big, masculine guy, that's the guy who you need to watch out for. And the society has gotten so dumbed down that people actually believe this shit. I know people who have served, law enforcement. I know people who have worked for the feds, and they will tell you quick. The overwhelming majority of sexual predators are little weasels. They're not the big bad guy. They're not. Society has been convinced that that's who it is.
We talked about this in the stream with Phil, the guy who founded the Lincoln Project, that like anti-Trump pack, right? They're basically male versions of German Shepherds. You notice that? Like the people who go after Trump are male German Shepherds.
Yeah.
Just nonstop yapping.
Yeah, they're cut from the same cloth, and they are what they are.
And it turns out that like the one guy there, he's going around feeling up underage boys and sending them messages, and he basically pulling the Kevin Spacey treatment.
Yeah.
And then all the other people in the organization are like, oh, well, this guy is a monster and a predator, and we had no idea. He deceived us all.
It happened in the gaming community. In the gaming community, there were people that were caught being, all these pedos that were hosting things because there's no love. If you love people,
now hang on a second. There is a difference there. Ryan Haywood and Adam Kovic, right? The Rooster Teeth guys.
Yeah.
There's a different dynamic going on there because they are under the influence of con sluts. The only reason I know this is I used to consume a lot of Rooster Teeth content. I've said this before in the show. I've gotten to know Ryan Haywood a lot over the years. He is a beta male, right? He's the kind of person who will get pegged by a dominant female because he has no confidence, no self-esteem. He married his high school sweetheart. He had to beg her to marry him.
What does that say about him?
Right? He's beta. We know he's beta, but that's the thing. Now he's famous. He's a famous beta male. And all these con sluts, all these 17, like Chris D'Elia. Remember the Chris D'Elia story? We thought he was a predator. Turns out it was these women hitting him up and lying about their age, right?
Correct.
I guarantee you this happened to Ryan Haywood too. And he's a beta male. He's never been popular. He's never had people want him before, and he didn't know how to deal with it. So there's a little bit of a difference between him. Fucking in Ontario, there was a guy who designed the school's sex ed curriculum that apparently was coaching single mothers how to abuse their daughters.
Of course. They're scum. Listen, when someone is very straightforward and they speak in a certain way and they're masculine, I've been accused of things in my life. I've had people throwing rocks at me, and I'm not the only one, right? The Coach Greg Abbs of the world, Kevin Samuels is getting tons of flack. Shout out to him, by the way, because he's got a great channel to show the female delusion, especially among Black women.
Yeah, we got a comment in that says someone. Oh yeah, it was one of the super chats that said, "Thank you for introducing me to Kevin Samuels."
Oh, if you ever want to see how dead the love is, just watch Kevin Samuels, because he will sit there and just give these women a forum, and you can hear it. They don't love themselves. They don't love their fathers. A lot of them didn't even have their dad around, and you can just hear this anger in them. And he's sitting there trying to tell them. And what's funny is that there are women who have come back who took Kevin Samuels' advice, and they're married now, right? And they're like, yeah, man, he was right. Yeah, you got to get yourself in shape. You have to be the woman that a high value man wants to be with. But that's taking too much accountability. But you look at this thing about to talk about love, to talk about the things that really drive us as men, that drive us as women. And one of the things I talked about, this was just last night in the live Q&A chat, something that doesn't get discussed enough. We must get away from the obsession with legacy being tied to the family name. It's like a default weakness of men. And the reason why I say that is because what people don't understand is the squandering of wealth happens within 2 generations. People go out there, they bust their ass. You're some famous guy. You're famous for inventing something. You're famous for starting up a business. You're famous for something. You're a trailblazer, right? You're a fucking killer. Two generations later, if you could rise from the dead, you're like, so where's my legacy? Where's all the money? Where's all the influence? Oh, it's all gone. What happened?
Yeah, it was all spent on hookers and cocaine.
Hookers and blow. Bullshit, because they didn't love you. They didn't respect you. But long live the love by helping other people. That's why I always give shouts out to, remember, you guys know me. I'm a shout out guy. I give shouts. I'm not one of those people that wants to, hog up anything from anybody. Like I said, if I were the biggest YouTuber in the world tomorrow, it wouldn't show. Like, I'd be doing everything I could to get everyone else on, right? I'm the kind of guy that, yeah, look, man, you're some little channel. Cool, man. Let me put you on. And that's something that Coach Greg Adams is doing right now, putting smaller content creators on. It's like, that's love. That's why I say long live the love. The manosphere, you can see there's people out there trying to help each other. When I look at these people who squander wealth, who do things, we need to start really taking a deeper look at things and start really think about it. When you take on a protege, your legacy does live on, right? And when you start to train him, when you start to go ahead and really teach this person, right? And you teach him the right way to do things, to carry on an ideology, right? An example of that in fiction would have been Batman and Robin, right? The first Robin, of course. And Batman, because in the original canon, Batman does not have children, but Robin is his successor. He's a spiritual successor, because it's not always about, oh, does someone share my last name? Does someone blah, blah, blah? No. Sometimes what you need to understand is that the people who you think love you are just using you. And that can be your kids, that can be your wife, that can be your brother, it can be whoever, your friends. These people don't always love you, but long live the love of the men and the women out there who help others to achieve their goals and to help other people. Listen, there's that old saying, pay it forward. When you just go out and just do good things for people. And if you notice, when you do those kind of things, that same energy seems to always come back and help you. People are always watching you, okay? Long live the love of those people who are out there helping people, who are genuine, who are being honest and truthful. And what ends up happening is good things just seem to happen. They seem to fall. You may think to yourself, how are these good things fall into my lap?
Go speak to a Wiccan. They can read your whatever.
Right? Well, it's karma. Karma is very real, okay? Karma is very, when you wind up doing things, like I said, you start doing good things for people, there's going to be a time where you start to slip up. You're going to have a time where you're kind of down in your luck. And those people, because you were good to people, they want to see you succeed. Like I've even seen it with guys like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was not he's not a model citizen, but I'll tell you what, people want to see Mike Tyson succeed. Mike Tyson went broke. He squandered his money. He did bad things. But this is a way that Mike Tyson conducted himself. People were always trying to have his back. Whereas other guys are out there, like, my man Terrell Owens, famous wide receiver, Hall of Fame wide receiver. He talks about, he's on Lana Van Zant, Fix My Life, talking about some, people I thought were my friends turn their back on me. But dude, look at the way you treated people. T.O., I love you. I love the way you played. I love your charisma. But it's like, you did do people dirty. You rubbed people the wrong way. Because of that, now the karma flipped back. You're sitting there going, damn, how come people don't want to help me? Because you were tearing people down. You're saying, are people, drawing up plays behind your back between, Jason Witten and the coach and Tony Romo? That stuff hurts you. Okay. And when you guys have to look in these first world countries, as things collapse, one world government takes hold, where will you find the love? And the place that you're going to find it is within yourself, the selfless friendships that you have. It's going to be the hobbies that make you happy, right? It's going to be like the knowledge that the love for your ideals, right? For your ideology will lead you to fight and possibly die to prolong and protect it. So when you're sitting out there and you see this actually every day, you see this throughout history where someone says, I'm going to give it my all, right? And you hear people talk about how much they love their country. Even for those of you history buffs, the only German officer during Nazi Germany was Claus von Stauffenberg, right? And they made that movie Valkyrie starring Tom Cruise about him. And
Yes,
I
yes, I
did
remember
some
that
research
movie.
about the guy. Yeah, you remember
That's
that?
actually one movie I've seen before. This has got to be like a February Miracle or something.
Yeah,
I've
right?
actually seen a movie you're talking about.
Well, his last words before he was killed by firing squad, the whole "Long live sacred Germany." Klaus von Stauffenberg loved his country. He loved his countrymen. He loved his wife and kids. Like, you can see the love, man. The love is there. And he's sitting there looking. And this is the reason why I tell people, man, never be so blinded by partisanship and all that stuff that you're just gonna blindly say, I'm just gonna roll with these people even if they're wrong. No, no, no. There is an ideal. There is a thing that you're supposed to be doing. And that's why I said, if you see something, whether it be a person or a thing or something, that's not the love, that they're not giving you the proper love back, because here you are saying, though, I came here for this. I came here to, because I love freedom. I love liberty. I love freedom of speech. I have these things that I love. These are the ideals that were put into place, right? And you see someone trying to tear that down. If people are trying to, don't defend them. Don't defend the people trying to tear you down, whether it be the country, whether it be the media. Don't defend any of these people. Stick with what you know. Stick to what the love that you have, the love you have for others, for yourself. And I always remind people that subtle actions prove love. The honesty, that straightforward talk that we have, the connections we make, right? And I look at people out there who claim that, love doesn't mean nothing. It's just a word and blah, blah, blah. But on your deathbed, what matters most, right? Who's there? Who cares about you?
On my deathbed, the thing that matters the most is that someone clears my browser history.
You're right. Yeah, always. You know what's crazy? I actually think about that when I'm just out and about. I'm like, look, man, if I ever died in this car crash right here, man, at least I want my browser history clean. I don't want people. I don't want people going, hey, this guy.
You got ghetto gaggers on the phone.
Yeah, you're right. Like, he was a good person, but he wasn't that good. He had the GG.
Yeah, because your mother's going to be the first person that gets your phone, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, they always go to mom first. And it's like, damn, I'm gonna have to hold that L from the grave.
Yeah.
But you realize these things where when people die, the question is, are people just fighting over your money? Or, are they sitting there saying, over your celebrity? Or are they cherishing the life that you lived and appreciating you while you were here, right? You don't want to be that guy that everyone's just fighting over, the inheritance, I'm fighting over money. That's a bad look.
I put something in the chat for you there. This episode's going to be titled Drexel versus Love, and I'm going to have one of the artists draw you like that. but I'm going to do you real dirty on this one.
Right? Justin Trudeau. But you have to people need to understand, man. That's why I'm going to wrap this up by just saying, don't be so hurt that, you can kind of feel hopeless. You can kind of feel that, like I said, everyone's against you. The church, the media, especially if you're a white guy. If you're a cis white male, right? Christian cis white male, you can still find, like I said, always start with yourself and then branch out. You may find out that someone that you thought was your enemy is not actually your enemy, right? There's friends, there's foes. There are people out there from all over that, like I said, if you had asked me, 5 years ago, would I ever be sitting there talking to Dollhouse Phil and stuff? I wouldn't have thought that, but I got nothing but love for Phil. Like, he sees things that I've seen, and I say to myself, damn, I thought I was all alone. And I remember that scene in X-Men First Class where Magneto and Xavier finally meet. And, when he says, he thought he was all alone, he thought he was the only mutant. So he felt he was alone. So a lot of his actions and his nihilism came from that. And I tell guys, there's no need for the nihilism, guys. Trust me. The love is there, right? That's why I say, long live the love. And that's what I got for you guys, man. That's what I got for you guys tonight.
All right. We've got some emails to get through.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, well, also, and this is the person that kept shouting us out in the comments. Is like, hey, you going to read my email? Hey, you going to read my email?
Oh,
hey,
okay.
you going to read my email?
Sorry about that.
Just note, we do get a lot of emails in. Sometimes I miss them. Sometimes I get a little careless with the flags in the folder categorization. I'm going to have to give the Russell Greer defense here the Taylor Swift defense to Russell Greer. Look, sending an email to us is no guarantee that it'll get read on the show. I want you to understand that. Things happen. There could be a week we get 50 emails and we don't have time to go through them all. So just chill. Chill a little bit. So this emailer wanted to ask if you've heard of the musical called Cabaret. I think is how I say that.
Yeah, cabaret music. Yeah.
But it's a musical.
Oh,
This
no,
is a
no.
show?
I haven't heard of the musical. I know the music's like style, like cabaret. Like, you go in and it's like that's like a jazzy, bluesy kind of vibe, but it's a musical.
Yeah, I guess there's a show called Cabaret.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it. Again, you're asking a guy who literally doesn't hear anything when it comes to shows. So they're bringing it up because you talked about the importance of escaping danger using Apocalypto as the example. And apparently the current state of the U.S. Reminded them about this particular show.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there are many versions, the most famous one being performed in 93 in London, directed by Sam Mendes.
Yep.
And she gave a link. And then there's a 72 film directed by Bob Fosse. Man, she really knows her stuff. Yeah, if you don't know about this show, it takes place in 1930s Germany, when a Nazi party is getting more powerful, when there's an ensemble of important characters, and then apparently the character, one of the main characters, is a mediocre at best singer who's only at the club because of nepotism.
Of course.
Man, there's a lot of question marks here. It'll all work out in the end. It's got nothing to do with us. Referring to the takeover of Hitler.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Of course.
That's actually not that bad. It does kind of sound like it. You could find the parallels between that and the state of America today. Careful, though. If you work for Disney, that'll get you canceled.
Right. But only if you say a certain opinion.
Making those kind of comparisons. I don't know. I think it might be worth watching. I don't know how in the world to get a hold of a version of it. It seemed like you recognize the name of the director. You might be able to find it.
Yeah. I mean, I know Sam Mendes. He actually directed arguably my favorite Bond movie, which was Skyfall. And speaking of movies,
only because of Adele, right?
Yeah, because of Adele. Yeah, still love her voice.
Someone sent us a super chat on the Phil stream asking about the fake woke vid and Trump's lawyer ripping apart the media. And we said we hadn't seen those videos, so he sent us a couple of links. Have you seen that since then? I think Nick did a show on it.
I didn't see that.
One of Trump's lawyers just eviscerated a reporter on TV.
I hope it wasn't a woman.
It was definitely a woman. It was a woman journalist.
Yeah, because that's how you get canceled, right? Because now it's about how evil you are as a man, right?
Yeah, she was mansplaining to him.
Correct. Correct. But if it's the other way around, it's she showed him.
Yeah, I mean, she looked like a fish out of water there, just doing mouth open and close.
That's great.
Anyways,
I always like hearing those stories.
I'll send you that link there. That's a good. It's a 7-minute video. It's fun to watch. And then we have a request for advice because a friend of this emailer just learned that his mother is fucking his godfather.
Damn.
And he doesn't want to tell his dad to keep the hypothetical family going because he has a younger brother and, single mom. Because obviously she's going to win, right?
Yep.
In the custody.
Yep.
And does he want to give his younger brother to a single mother?
No, you have to keep it to yourself, man. You gotta just swallow your pride, just because if you don't, he's fucked.
Would you tell the father eventually, like when you're both?
Yeah. You can say something, but so long as the you have the brother, the younger brother who's under that roof, just don't do it. Not a smart move. Due to the blowback, the collateral damage.
And that's the thing too, is you're going to have to reconcile the moment where the father's like, well, how long have you known? why didn't you tell me sooner?
Correct. Yeah, but
You
then
gotta
when
have
you
a good
explain,
fucking answer.
yeah, well, you explain the reason, like, well, hey, if I would have done this, and then the court battle, and then he would have been left in the care of a ratchet single mom.
Yeah, and if this is a reasonable man, he would understand that argument.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing too, is when you bring down his world like that around him, he may not get it right away, but he'll come around.
Usually, yes, yeah.
He'll lash out because that's a natural reaction to being betrayed like that. You get very angry. And so he might take it out on you for trying to keep it from him, but just let it pass, let it blow over. And then eventually you can make the logic argument, because remember, we're men, this works on us. You can make the logic argument, well, I did it to keep the little brother from the single mother. And he's going to be like, yeah, that court would have messed all of us up.
It's criminal. It's criminal to have any child in the care of a single mom. Oh, there was one thing I did forget when I was referring to legacy, though. I don't know, maybe you can splice it in, but just keep it at the end. When it comes to the legacy of, it doesn't have to be your blood relative. Something that was discussed in the chat is a movie that I'm sure most people have seen, which is Russell Crowe's Gladiator. And in that movie, the issue of the Emperor of Rome, Marcus Aurelius, he names his successor not his son Commodus, but the Roman general Maximus. And the reason he does this is because of the qualities of the man himself, Maximus. And when he asks him, to bestow the rank of emperor, when he says, do you accept this? And he says, with all my heart, no. His reaction was, that's why it must be you. You see what I'm saying? And when he talks about, why not your own son, he says because he's not a moral man. And that's something that we need to really embrace, which is, at some point, guys need to start saying, look, man, it can't just be about does this person share my genetic code or all that? At some point, it's got to be, do they share in this ideology? Do they share my vision? And can I teach them to prolong what I'm trying to accomplish? So I think Gladiator is a great movie that does that.
Those intangibles, like ideology, values, morals, those are things you can change, right? I mean, they're hard to change, but just because you were born a certain way doesn't dictate how you're going to die when it comes to those kind of values.
Except for Simpson Cucks.
You can't change your chromosomes, right?
What about Ron Toye?
You'll never get a perfect score if you miss the first shot.
He can't change.
Ron has missed the first 5 shots. But that's the thing too, is if Monica Rial loses the lawsuit against Vic and has to pay him, right? And Ron loses the lawsuit and has to pay Vic, eventually the true story is going to come out where he's just going to say, Monica, you need to tell me the truth or I'm leaving.
Could be. Oh, hold on. Let's be fair. You say that, but you talked earlier about the worshiper, right?
Yeah.
Ron, just like Fluffy, will never hold women accountable. He'll still I think he'll still simp. I'll be honest with you. I think he'll still simp.
But that's the thing too. We talked about these beta males who are actually the ones abusing women, and he's a good example, right?
Yep.
Because we know he could never dominate or establish power over another man. So he's got to hit someone weaker.
Yeah, which would be, of course, guys like that go after women and children.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to this 12th episode.
Absolutely. Thanks to everybody.
We'll see you again next week. Stay frosty, everyone.
Peace.